Hi, everybody. 21 days. Made it to 21. 3 weeks in. What am I going to do when I make it through a month? It's going to be a party. It's 21 days, beginning a new day. Let's get it started. This is the beginning of a new day. God has given me this day to use as I will. I can waste it or use it for good. What I do today is important because I am exchanging a day of my life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving in its place something that I've traded for it. I want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that I shall not regret the price that I paid for it. So, 21 days in, and it took 21 days to launch my first ad campaign for 2020. So, built the ad last night, placed it on Facebook and Instagram. It was approved at about, I think it was 12:45. I got the notice this morning. So it is now live. I had to go in this morning and make a couple of adjustments on it. I didn't like how it was playing out. I didn't like some of the messaging I chose. And a couple of the links that I put in were inaccurate. So I'm glad I went in to review it because there are some tweaks that I needed to make. But I wanted to give you a little heads up on how I went about building this. So if you go into Facebook to run an ad through their business manager platform, first and foremost, you have to have the Facebook pixel on your website. You will be prompted to make that happen if you don't already have that on your website. So get the Facebook pixel figured out. If you're using a platform like Shopify for your website, like I am, they have a great integration API, and they pretty much do it all for you, which is really nice. I think you just have to copy and paste the actual short, like 20-digit code into the Shopify back end, and you can hook up automatically. It's really slick. So I know other platforms offer that kind of integration as well. Squarespace is one. We just use that for my 9-to-5 job. So, a very handy tool. The Facebook pixel is going to allow Facebook to actually gather that data. That's going to make your ad smarter and able to be shown to people that will actually engage with your content based on the objectives you set for your ad. To that end, the first thing that Facebook's going to ask you to do when you start to go in and build your ad is to set your objective. That's kind of how they've laid out their ad building platform is pretty slick, and it basically will ask you to think like a marketer and establish your objective, what you want people to do, and then define your audience, and then define your ad creative and where you want it to be placed. So it's pretty slick how they built out their platform. So the first thing you do is establish the objective. I chose the conversion objective. What I ultimately want people to do is to buy a t-shirt. So I want Facebook to show people the most likely to do that. Those who are most likely to do that. So in setting up that objective, there are certain data points that they'll be looking at. There are, I believe, I tried to count them this morning and now I don't remember, between 9 and 11 different objectives that you can do for a Facebook ad. And it includes awareness building, meaning just getting reach, eyeballs to see your ad. Basically, it's just brand awareness. Then there are traffic drivers, people to go to your website, go to your Facebook page, like your Facebook page. So those are more traffic-driven ads, and engagement-driven ads, getting leads, sign-ups for programs. And then there's also conversion ads, actual purchases or transactions taking place. So there are different objectives that you can choose for your ad performance. And it also depends on if you're doing images or if you're doing video or that kind of output as well. So there's amazing array of things you can do with the Facebook platform. That's step one. So if I've overwhelmed you, there's a lot more. So there are some great videos online that will walk you through the process of how to set up an ad. I highly recommend you check it out. To give you a little bit more on how I set mine up, so I did the conversion ad objective. I chose an audience that is very broad, and that is intentional, and because what I explained in previous videos is I need Facebook to learn, based on the traffic that they send to my website, who is the most likely to convert. So they're going to get smarter as the longer I run ads. So I'm running this ad for 8 days, beginning this morning. It's running right now. And I'm running it for a set amount of hours per day. So I chose 6 a.m. to midnight, and it's a very broad range. Over time, I'll get smarter and figure out where people who are more likely to purchase t-shirts actually tend to do their shopping. So I'm sure there are specific hours, but right now I don't know what those are. So I'm letting Facebook try to iron that out over time. So I kept it really broad. I don't want it when most people are sleeping. I know people work overnight shifts, and I'm hoping that only cutting out the midnight to 6 a.m. time slot for sleep, I can get them before they go to work or after they go to work. So, or before they go to work or when they get off of work. Sorry. So I think that is a good time slot, and I'm not wasting ad spend on hours when most people are sleeping. So you do have the ability to do that. And the other thing you have to do is choose if you want a daily budget or if you want a budget to be spent over the lifetime or the duration of your ad. So again, I'm running my ad for 8 days, so I chose the lifetime duration, and I'm going to let Facebook determine where to drop those dollars within that 8-day time frame, based on traffic on their platform, when people are actually using the platform, so on and so forth. What else can I tell you? My audience. So I chose the entire United States. I did not select particular areas because, again, I'm still learning. I don't know where people who want to buy my products are located, so it's not fair to pick a geographic location. I have a guess on age groups as far as who is more likely to purchase these t-shirts than others. I did make that pretty broad as well, though. I chose 18 years old to 49 years old, and I'm thinking that's going to cover high school seniors to parents with high school seniors. So I think the major demographic for this particular True Identity as a whole will be a younger audience, just because it's t-shirts, first and foremost. But it's also about learning about yourself, and you do more of that, I think, in your early to mid years. I think you've pretty much got it figured out by the time you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Even though you're continuing to learn and develop, I think you've pretty much got yourself figured out. So I don't know how often older generations actually purchase t-shirts. So I could be wrong, I'm guessing, but that's why I chose 18 to 49 and not an older age group. So I started out with that. That's going to be a wide range to give me some good feedback on demographic information, from a location standpoint, from an age group standpoint, whether it's male or female. I targeted both because I don't know yet. So it's pretty slick how you can determine all of those attributes to go into your ad to help you refine who it is who might be interested. They also have the ability to choose like interests that people have. So I was looking at it, typed in the word t-shirts. So you can target people who have interests in t-shirts, even printed t-shirts, and use that as an identifier to narrow in more on your target audience. And I wanted to do that because, again, the more niche you can get with your, or niche, however you decide to say it, more niche you get with your audience, meaning how much you can whittle it down and refine it, the more productive your ad dollars are going to be, and the more bang for your buck you're going to get with your ad spend. So I really wanted to do that, but again, I'm learning. So I kind of wanted to keep it broad. I just wanted to see what I got, and I wanted Facebook to learn a little bit about the general audience and pick and choose the better of the broader audience and get some legit data versus me trying to hone in, not really knowing how effective those interest groups would be. So there's going to be a lot of learning coming out of this Facebook ad, and I'm excited about it. And I keep saying Facebook, but it's also going to be on Instagram. And because Instagram is owned by Facebook, they have the ability to take what you're doing in Facebook Business Manager and apply that to Instagram. So pretty much everything that I just said for Facebook is also going to be applicable to Instagram. That's a pretty slick option as well. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I dropped $50 on this ad, so it's not a ton of money. $50 over a week is just, it's not, you're not even spending $10 a day. So you're not going to get a ton of traffic to your website. You're not going to get a ton of people to buy. I don't really have any expectations as far as dollars spent per click, per purchase, per whatever. I just want to see what happens. That's my main objective. I'd love to get some sales out of this deal. I'm actually offering a BOGO offer, so buy one, get one for 20% off. It's highlighting couples in the ads for the most part, and it's just trying to explain how the reflection t-shirts actually work as far as how you see them when you look at it and how you see them when you look at it in the mirror. So it's a pretty straightforward ad. I'll put a link to it in the description for this video just so you can see it if you'd like. And again, it's only running through January 29th. Because after that time frame, I have to allow a window of time for t-shirts to be printed and delivered before Valentine's Day. So I think that's it in a nutshell. I'm pretty happy to have that done. I'm pretty happy I have it out there. I'm satisfied with how the ad turned out. I think it looks pretty good. You won't know until you try it to see if it works. Clearly, I would like to sell at least half a dozen t-shirts would be nice. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I will continue to report on this as we go. I also had the opportunity to name my newsletter, my email newsletter. So I haven't sent any of that out yet. I'm hoping to send out the first one this next week, probably early, Sunday or Monday, maybe even Tuesday next week. That'll be the first one. The series of emails that I hope to send out, and it's going to be, I don't know yet, either once a week or once every 2 weeks, whatever I can get the time in, really. I'm going to try to work out a consistent cadence because that's usually best for newsletter performance with an audience that is going to be loyal or pay attention to you. You kind of want to be consistent in delivering that content for them. It's the most effective strategy. So I need to figure out what I'm going to be able to do with the time that I have before I commit to that. But the newsletter name is Empowermental. Isn't that cool? I kind of like that name. It's like judgmental, but it's empowerment versus judgment. So I thought it could actually be a word. It made sense, actually. But it's not. I made it up. And it basically is using our or what is it? What is the definition? I wrote it down and now I don't even remember. It's like the use or exercise of using empowerment or something like that. Something like that. Anyway, it made sense. It's basically using empowerment. Is when you get down to it, that's what it means. So yeah, I made up my own word. I'm happy about it. I think it's a cool word. I think it totally fits with what we're trying to do. So it's the Empowermental Newsletter. There you go. So what did I learn about all of this good stuff? Facebook. There's a lot of things you need to have figured out before I do a Facebook ad. Highly recommend you do an online tutorial so you kind of know what you're getting into, and you can set it up before you get in there and start playing around. Do that. Take the time to do that if you're going to use a Facebook ad. Let's see. Other learnings that I had. I know there's others. I'm blanking on them. Oh, what was it? There were a couple. Oh, the conversion ad. So my website, this is a good one. My website had not had a actual purchase for 12 days when I went in to make this ad last night. So because I hadn't had a purchase on my website, and I had the Facebook pixel already on my website, so it had been collecting data, which is important. So I would highly recommend you put your Facebook pixel on your website ASAP so it can begin collecting data. Because if you put the Facebook pixel in the day you're going to build your ad, you're not going to have enough data to use the conversion metric or the conversion objective on your ad. It needs data to be collected in order for Facebook to use that as an objective. Sounds confusing, but if you listen to the video, you'll figure it out. So anyway, my website hadn't had a transaction for 13 days. Apparently, Facebook can't optimize your ads for conversions unless you've had a transaction within the last 7 days. I was not aware of that. So my ad, I didn't use a conversion metric. I used if they, now I don't even remember what it is. If they intent to check out or something like that, I think is what it is. It's a Shopify one that's automated. Intent to check out, I think is what it was. So it's like the next thing, or it's a thing right before they actually click purchase. That's the step that I'm optimizing for right now, because apparently that was done 5 days ago. So that was in their 7-day window. I was not aware of those parameters. That's a new one for me. This whole retail e-commerce thing is new to me. So I've been in the lead generation objective world. This conversion for a e-commerce transaction is different. So that was a good learning for me, and I wanted to share that with you. So if you're doing e-commerce and your website is e-commerce and you're trying to do Facebook ads, be aware you need some transactions for conversion ads to work effectively. So even if you have to go in and maybe do one yourself and go back and refund yourself just so data is collected on that so you can use it as an optimization tool for your ad, might be wise. I almost considered doing that before I placed this ad, and I just said, screw it. I'll just do the step before. So, 2 cents on that. I got to move on. Too much information and all that stuff, but there's so much to talk about. And again, go to the tutorial and check it out online somewhere. And again, I'll show my ad so you can see kind of what I landed on and what it's doing. Who do I need to get thanks to? Seth and Bob. They were brainstorming with me, giving me some ideas, just chit-chat and side hustle stuff yesterday. It was just a great conversation. To-dos for today, I need to... 2 things. I need to fix all of the product descriptions that are one big chunk of text right now and not very user-friendly for a reading standpoint. I need to fix those today. And then I also need to clip out some video. I need to clip my first video and get it done, because that is going to help build content for True Identity social channels. That is happening tonight. I don't care how tired I am, I'm getting that done tonight. At least one of them. Because I need to start putting content on my social channels. The word of the day is curious. And there are two main reasons why I picked that. One, I'm really curious to see how this ad's going to perform. That was the primary driver. Second is, my little boy is 3 years old, and he is a curious little beaver, and he's in the why mode, meaning, why daddy, why mommy, why daddy, why mommy, and everything's why. Why? I think the curious individual is one to admire. The desire to learn, to understand, to really try to dig into what you're experiencing and how you can best leverage it, how you can optimize it, how you can make it more efficient. The desire to learn is a very cool thing from a humanities standpoint. And it's been something that's been ingrained in us forever. I mean, we're a curious creature, and we ask questions naturally because we're trying to figure things out. And one of Reed's favorite poems that I read from him from Mr. Rogers is "I Like to Be Told," and he hung on to that one right away, and he's always wanted to hear that one. Every time I pick up that book, he wants to hear that one. I like to be told. And it basically is, one of the lines, I believe, is, I like to learn and I like to know. And that is me in a nutshell as well. So, and I know Sarah's like that too, so he gets that from both of us. We're two very curious people. We like to explore, and we like to learn about new things. And he is definitely picking up on that, and a very curious mind. Most 3-year-olds are, right? They're trying to figure things out. But I mean, he asks why without even thinking about it. It's just, that's the word that comes all the time now. Whether he really cares to learn or not, that's what he says. Why? Anyway, I think my next t-shirt, because I know I'm a curious guy, and it's probably one of my strengths. It's one of, if you've ever done the Strength Finder, I am a learner. So I think my next t-shirt is going to be curious. I'm making the confession today. If you are a curious individual, go to trueidentity.com and check out that t-shirt. It might be just what you need. That's it, guys. I'm Luke Felberger with trueidentity.com. I hope you have a great day. Stay curious. Ask some questions. Subscribe to my channel, and visit trueidentity.com and grab a t-shirt to reveal your true identity. Have a great day, guys.